Hi, I'm Cash, and welcome back to Cash Talks Football, where we break down all the goals scored in the Premier League. And today we're doing Brentford against Newcastle. Now, Brentford are a funny team at home because they just seem to score for fun. And Newcastle was a bit of a test for them because if you actually look at the fixtures and everyone, if you're actually analysing it properly, a lot of the teams they've been playing, like Wolves, Southampton, near the bottom of the leagues, and people are talking about their away form, but they've been playing like the likes of Liverpool and I think Chelsea and Arsenal away. So the quality and difference in teams is absolutely huge, but it takes nothing away from the amount of goals that they score at home. And one of the things they do really well is they actually play the long ball, this ball forward. I don't like that colour. Let's keep it there. It's easier to see. Right. They play long balls forward, and most teams in the Premier League can't actually defend very well and defend long balls. There's a lot of reasons behind that. It's because, especially the way that they do their training, it's all about playing the ball on the ground and passing the ball around. So if you can actually have someone that can win a ball in the air and you can actually play a ball to that person in the air, you cause teams lots and lots of problems. But let's just look at this first goal, and you can see a little bit of it here. So we've got a ball getting played across the field here, bump into the open space onto the far side. As this goes, we're going to move it, stop it right back, and move it to the point where he controls the ball. Now, you've got a lot of problems here, right, when this guy's controlled the ball. This guy, his first responsibility should be backing up his teammate, right? You can see, right, that he is just focusing, he's looking this way, and you're in a 1v1 situation. And because you're getting caught on transition, the first thing you need to do is try to get back in your defensive shape as quickly as possible and defend the pressure around the ball. So here's the pressure around the ball. Let's defend that. This is a secondary worry here, the runner. It really is. You need to be getting back close to this guy as close as you can to help him put pressure on the ball. Now, this guy here, to be fair, does nothing. This gap is massive. This ball has had loads of time to travel. He's had time to take a touch, and he is nowhere near this striker here to actually try to win the ball, do anything. He's not doing anything. He's just a traffic cone. There's a lot of traffic cone defending in the Premier League nowadays where they cannot judge the distance of how close they get to that striker or to the person with the ball, and they just leave them too much space. This is another classic example. So what ends up happening as you move it forward just a little bit, boom. So can you see, right, this guy needs to be a little bit, he needs to be running this way, like a curved run like that, not a flat run defending here. Because you've got two players over here doing that. They can cover this area anyway. So this guy is basically in a 1v1 situation, completely and utterly isolated. So what's he got to do? He can't back up too much and give ground. So I always, when I'm coaching my defenders and my players, what I'm normally telling them to do is back up and wait for the cavalry to come. You're backing up, but also you want to get close enough to make a challenge. You're not backing up to give them space to do what they want. This is always the red flag line. If you're backing up past this point here, I know it's the 18-yard box, is pretty obvious, but that's your trigger. That's your mechanism when you go and you start to put pressure on the ball, because at that point you've got no choice because they're gonna score. If you're not trying to win the ball at that point, you are donezoed. So when he gets here, look, he's still backing up. He's more concerned for some reason. You can tell this, by the way, this is coached. This is absolutely coached. Let me show you. So he's in a 1v1 here. He's not engaging in trying to win the ball. And what does he do? He puts his hands behind his back, so it's not a handball. He's not even in the box yet. So the only reason he's doing that is because he's been coached to do that, and so he's immediately in this defensive position, putting his like he's trying to be arrested, put his hands in handcuffs behind his back, and he's trying to back up and let this player run at him. Your first priority is to win the ball and get close enough so you can touch the ball. And if you watch, he's actually giving him an opportunity to do that, but his body shape and his language, he doesn't know how to do that. So he keeps backing up. Now at the point where he could win the ball, he's too close, and a little shimmy step. And by the way, his body shape is also wrong again, because when this guy accelerates off his power position, he's got his bent knee. Bent knee means power position. So if any coaches or anyone's trying to, because a lot of things in coaching, they use certain things to try to make them sound clever. Power position is basically mean he's pushing off his knee and running in a different direction. He's doing that. This guy isn't able to react to that because he's trying to push him to the outside, but he hasn't actually pushed him to the outside. Right, how do we know he's pushing him to the outside? Well, we can look at his body shape. His shoulders were here. That's what he'd been doing. Free little body shape, and that's the way he's facing. Oh, God, that's a terrible arrow. That's the way he's facing. He's facing that way. So he doesn't want to let him go this side of him, right? That's what he's trying to do. And the only side he lets him go is the side that he's trying to stop him going to. So he wanted to try to push him down here and deny him access to here, and he doesn't do either of those. He doesn't push him this way, and he doesn't do him that way. That's because of his body position that he's backing him off. Okay, so let me show you that a little bit better. So when he's backing off here, he's backing off in a straight line, right? What he needs to do is back off ever so slightly. That's the difference. So he opens up the space here if he wants to push him down this way. The fact that he backs off on a flat trajectory means that the player can go this way. He, the defender, wants to step ever so slightly into this space to force the attacker into that space, because he can't go this way if the defender stood in it. So he doesn't do that. He just backs up. Like, he just backs up flat. So what that really means is this guy has got space to go that way or that way. He doesn't make a decision and force him to go one way or the other. Do we get that? Also, remember that other player I said that should have been backing him up? Got nowhere near him. If he had made his run like he should have and actually come close to this player, he would have been able to back up his teammate instead of tracking this run, which he still didn't do anyway, and he still didn't stay with the player. So he's run into no man's land to do nothing, instead of just to get alongside his teammate and get back into team shape. Didn't do it. Opens it up, and then he has a little bit of a touch and whaps it into the top corner. Yeah, it's just terrible defending all over, but good finish, easily done. Let's get on to the next goal. Again, we've got some awful defending that I was talking about. I'm going to show you that in a second. And it is that distance of understanding of how close you are to the ball and whether or not you can win it or not. Right. But there's I think this is Isak. I can never say his name properly. Isak. Whoever this guy is, I like him. He's a quality little player here. He does a couple of great things. So what he wants to try to do, he wants to get himself in a position where he can get a shot off a goal, right? That doesn't really happen for him. So he does the next best thing. He tries to move the ball on. I like it. So as we go in here, look, you can see that's his window. That's where he wanted to try to run into that space. His teammate took the space away by making the run, but he also pulled a player with him. Okay, so now he's got to kind of change what he's doing. You can see, look, we are facing this way, we're facing this way, we're facing this way. So what does that mean? There's a flash point there. That's where they're all kind of, congregating to. So if they move the ball past that point, they all have to change their shape. Not only that, you can see people are over-pressuring and over-committing to try to win the ball back with actually not getting close enough to it. So when this pass comes along, we're looking, look, this is the open space. That's where it's going. This guy's running because he's over-committed. Look, he's over-committed. So he's basically had to... All the energy he's gone to do this way is gone against him because this player just simply walked because he's been over-aggressive and over-anxious to try to win the ball back. We've got another player caught in the headlights, not sure where to go and what to do. He's looking for the telegraph pass. He's not sure. And as it gets played, what does he do? Then he goes to start to chase the ball. It's this weird dynamic in the Premier League. Like, if the other team's got the ball, I've got to stand still and I can only move when they pass it. That's the point I can run and go and get the ball. Again, it's overcoaching. I'm telling you, I've seen this happen 100 times with players that don't go and engage in the ball because they've done passing drills in, rondos and keep away, where any time that they move, because the ball moves so quickly, they don't bother to actually go and do the simple basics of going to pressure or stop the pass in the first place. So they just don't do it, and it becomes a habit week in, week out. And I'm going to show you again right here. So when this guy receives the ball, we've got 1-2 balls coming to be pressured in from behind. Okay, little spin turn again because he's over aggressive. The understanding of how fast you need to approach that ball to tackle it isn't there. It's just not. So he misses that opportunity to tackle with a little tiny bit of skill. It's not really skill, he's just turned his body. And then the ball gets moved on again. Right, so as the ball, look, can you see how much time this guy has got? Because he's ran past him and he's got all the time in the world to lay it off to this player here. But I also want you to keep a little eye on him. He started the play from here and he's done a little run and he's trying to find himself a pocket of space. Okay, and because all of these players from Brentford are too busy chasing the ball, they haven't really noticed that he's just kind of ghosting it. Now, this is the point I want you to watch. You're set up in your defensive shape. You're in your OD. Here you are. You've got all your players here, right? And there's no players for Newcastle between those two little lines there. Right. What does that mean, Cash? Well, what that means is when he passes the ball out wide here, any one of these players can full court press him as hard as they want because there's no one in behind them. So they can put maximum pressure on this ball because there's no one there, right? These guys on the back post got to be a bit wary, but these three can do whatever they want. as that ball gets played, do you see how slow that pass is there? That ball's travelling, how slow that is. And 1, 2 do not even react to go and close the player down, right? I mean, they just want to give him enough space to build a swimming pool, a carport, and an airport right there. Get and close the ball down, because if you don't, he'll pick out someone and they'll score a goal. Yay! So no one pressures the ball. He's got it. Look, still no one's pressured the ball, but what has he done? Because of this run here that isn't there yet, he points, go to the ball, to his teammate instead of him going to the ball. Do we see that? There's this little hand. So we know in the next 5 seconds, because in cash law, in the next 5 seconds, because he's got his arm up telling someone what to do, someone's going to score a goal in the Premier League. You go and win the ball back. You didn't even try to move it when he passed it. Look, see there, still no pressure on the ball. Now, you can tell before he's even made the run, he's trying to mark this player here. He still hasn't put pressure on the ball. Neither of them have. And they're just queuing up on the back stick here. When the ball comes in, 1, 2, oh look, it's completely taken away. Another little tiny run in there, but it shouldn't have even been going with him, because he should have been just holding the space there, waiting for it to come in. Why do you hold the space and not go through the player? Because then if you're holding the space there, you're asking this player to thread the ball through both of you. Oh look, he's got his hands behind his back again. That was definitely in the latest coaching update 2.20 for their defenders in the Premier League. It's very difficult for him to thread that ball through the eye of a needle, and you just don't do that. But watch this. I think this is a shot. Bang. I think that's a shot, and he's just got a fantastic header on the end of it. At a go. But that all comes down to them not closing the ball down, not even trying to go to the ball, just no attempt, telling his mate to go to it because there's a run over there that I might have to deal with. No, you have to deal with the ball. The ball's the most important thing, and you had the time to do it. That run wouldn't even have happened, and if it did, you would have blocked it out because you were pressuring the ball, and guess what? They can't kick the ball through you because they're not Harry Potter, and they haven't got a magic wand to spelly armos the ball through you or some nonsense. That's why you get in front of it and you get in the face of the player. They just chose not to. So everything I was saying about them not pressuring the ball defensively, this trend of the Gungan press, how's it the Gungan press? I don't know. Whatever nonsense they're chatting for this week, which they'll change the name of. It's the old press from the front, which they've tried to rename. They don't do it at the back. So when this guy's under pressure here from the on the ball, he can't identify what to do next. And the main reason he can't is because he doesn't play football. What he does is play paint by numbers. So paint by numbers is I go into A and A goes into B, and then B makes a run and we go to C. If C doesn't get the ball, we go back to A. Okay, it's paint by numbers football. Because if he was a footballer right now, what he would do, he would just play the ball to him. Right, that's what he would do. He'd flick the ball over these two and he would be on his way. But he can't do that because he doesn't know how to. So what he has to do is go pass it back to A. Where's A? So as he makes this pass, bosh, there's A over there somewhere. Oh, wait, no, he's not. Now, this is the other part. Look at this guy here. He doesn't realise that he is the one that can actually get to the ball. He's like, wait, what? They're going to just let me have a goal? This is just because coaches are teaching them to pass out of the back. And when they're in sticky situations like this, because someone actually has pressured the ball, they don't know what to do. So, unless it's going back to A. And, of course, because A is out of shape and they're not exactly where they need to be, everything breaks down. And this is worse. As soon as he receives the ball, because of the way that they're set up, there's just no stopping him. There's just, you can't do anything. He's 1v1. This guy's got to go to the ball as fast as possible to try to slow him down. You know, like I was saying, normally in these areas of the field here, about here, to probably about here, I'd like you to back off and wait for the cavalry. You can't do that here. Unfortunately, you can't. In this situation, he has to get to that ball as quickly as possible. Do we see that? It's kind of lackadaisical jog back. He's kind of, I'm getting into shape a little bit. He can't afford to do that. He needs to steamroll towards that as fast as possible. And you can see why. It's because he's got a covering defender that's getting across there. He needs to put his shoulder on that guy's shoulder as fast as possible to make this guy fight to get all the way down this yardage here. And in that time, his recovering defender here will help him. He doesn't see that. He doesn't do that. He just goes, "Whoa, come at me, bro." And he goes, "All right, mate, I'll come at you." Backing away again. Look at how big that distance is between him and the ball. He cannot cannot tackle him. His only opportunity was on that original turn. Get your body on him and then try to fight with him as much as you can and get this guy to help you as well and come across. Otherwise, he's just going to walk down the middle of the field, have a little touch, cut it inside. Oh, look, you're still nowhere near him. Look at how far that is away. Oh, my God, that's just unbelievable. Unbelievable. And then this guy just takes a little bit of a touch and knocks it into the net box. Woohoo! If he used sound effects, he would have got double points. That is the rules in the Premier League. Defenders, just be better. Okay, are we going to see them backing away, or are we going to see them challenge for the ball? They're in a perfect situation to challenge for the ball because they've got pressure and they've got cover and they've got terrible balance behind them. Can they do it? Can they do it? No, we all back away. Oh, no. Now what we're going to do, oh, look, someone's pointed. We know, look, someone's pointed someone else to go to the ball. I am right next to the football, but I'm going to tell you behind me to go to the football instead. Yes, that's what I'm going to do. Remember, he's got his hands up, so in the next 5 seconds, someone's about to score a goal in the Premier League. Stop telling people what to do and do it yourself, and you won't be rubbish at the football. Remember, be better. So that little run there, he's panicking because he's seeing the run. And my coach has told me that if I see the run, I got to go to the run. I don't need to worry about the football. You need to worry about the football, you absolute complete muppet. Same issue again. Oh, look, it goes in and hits him. Remember, like I was saying, if you stand in front of the player with the football, they can't pass it through you. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Now, when that ball bounces back, you've got like another phase of play. Like it's actually called a micro phase of play, right? So in this next micro phase of this attack, what's happened is he hasn't reset and he hasn't reset to the unmarked player in the middle of the box. So now, remember, there's no pressure on the ball because defenders in the Premier League aren't interested in actually trying to win the ball. Just stand there to make it look like they're winning the ball for their Instagram account. So now, when the ball's played on a little bit, look, he sticks his arm up, leg up a little bit. Yeah, I'm going to try to block the cross because I've seen that somewhere. And again, I'm going to tell you what this is. Overcoaching. This guy here isn't playing the situation. He's playing what he's coached. So he's trying to stop the byline cross. And you can tell that by the way he reacts to what's going to happen next, okay? So watch this. As this goes, do you see he goes to block the byline cross? He isn't actually, the cross in there. He has got no idea that that ball can be played in behind him. No idea. He's not reading the situation. He's just going, I'm doing this. Completely and utterly done. This guy has gone through 1, 2, 3 players to pass to an unmarked player in the box. Don't worry, he's telling someone what to do. We know what's going to happen. Right, so when he receives the ball, look at how much time and space he has got to receive the ball. Again, this guy, you can see what he was doing. He was waiting for that cross to come across here instead of looking around and reading the situation. At no point did he look around and see that this guy was completely and utterly unmarked in the box. But yeah, he was. By the way, not only is he unmarked, not only is his first touch bad, watch this. He has time to take another touch to set himself up to smash it into the goal. That's how far away they are. That's how lack of little marking they're doing. Whacks it into the net box, gets himself a goal. So this is basic under 10s defending. Oh, but it's not, because I don't know if you ever know anything about football. They've stopped letting people do this a long time ago, and they will pass them all out of the back, and that's why they can't do it in the Premier League 20 odd years later, because they don't deal with goalkeepers just smashing the ball straight at the defenders, flat ball, and having to deal with a flat ball. So when this ball just gets played across, everyone's running backwards towards their goal, because what they were doing is they were playing a high line. The keepers hit the ball behind the high line, and now every single one of the players is running away towards going back to the goal. So it makes it very difficult to step forward and challenge for the header because you're not set up properly from that free kick, which is a simple free kick. You'll just drop back on your 18-yard box. There is no space behind us. You've got to play the ball in front of us, and we can deal with it. But if we're forward and the space is behind us, you can play it over our heads in behind us, or we have to run back into that space, and it makes it even harder for us to challenge for the ball. So when this ball comes dropping in here, boom, no one even touches that, I don't think, by the way, there. It just bounces on through. No one touches the ball. It just goes donkey, donkey, donkey all the way through. Like, this is shocking. If this happened at a Sunday League pub team, you'd be mad. But no, that's what we do in the Premier League. As it bounces, though, little bit of it. It's a tricky bounce, that one. Can you see the way skewed his body, the striker did, trying to go for it. I don't know if you've ever had one of these balls before, but it actually looks like it accelerates off the bounce. And that's what it looks like to me, because he was kind of judging it because the ball was a long, slow ball. It's accelerated off the bounce. He's trying to adjust his body shape to do it. And he gets himself a little tap in. Easy, easy, lemon squeezy. Let's get on to the next one. Oh, by the way, goalkeeper, be better. This is a complete and utter technical error by this guy here, whoever this clown chooses. Right. So you're in a situation where you've got a player behind you and the ball is dropping. What you need to do is keep hold of that ball. Your first touch needs to bring it down, but you're also aware that there's space this side. You cannot go this way because you know there's a player. You're almost drawing a visual line in your mind, and you want to keep that ball on the outside of your right foot or any over that way, and that's what you want to do. As this ball comes down, though, look, can you see it? That changes ever so slightly. Now the player's no longer on his back, but he still tries to play that ball there, and he's completely unawares of it. He hasn't made control of the ball before he's played the ball. So his touch with the outside of his right foot is absolutely shocking. He should have been in possession of the ball. What does the possession mean? Actual physical control. Stop the ball so you can make a quality pass. Not a flicky pass with a floppy ankle because you've got no power because you're weak. And then someone just keeps running on. Look at that. It's just terrible. Easy opportunity to bring the ball down and keep control, and you've lost it and you've given up another goal. Terrible. Kiddie that wins the ball, though, picks what he does. I like it. He just drops it so they can recycle the ball. Nice. But watch, look at this defensive line. Oh, that's terrible. God, I'm getting worse at drawing lines. I really am. So if you look at this line here, we've got two separate lines. We've got one there and we've got one there, and that is on an angle. Can we see that? So these guys need to either get up and play offside, which they should have done, really. You can't be expecting these guys to drop back because it doesn't really make any sense. These two needed to be getting up as fast as possible. As soon as they've lost the ball, and it goes into the next phase in the next transition, they need to get up just ever so quickly, because from where you're seeing it there, it still looks like they're going to get pressure on in and around the ball. All right, they can. Not only that, if this ball gets fizzed into here, you need to be going this way anyway to try to cut that ball out. You don't, there is an argument. You can say you don't want him to spin, turn in, running behind you, but let's just move this on. Boom, there it goes. It does neither. If you're going to hold, you make sure that you're behind the defender so he can't do that. And if you do cut in, you make sure you can win the ball. It doesn't do either. Maybe I'll give him a little bit of the benefit of the doubt because the ball's played in the air, but that just slows the ball down, and it should have made his decision easier. But off we go. Still not in a bad situation. Still yards and yards away from the goal. Still can defend it. But they choose not to. Not only that, he's beaten as well. Oh, my God, it's so bad. So think of it this way. This defender has come from here. This is him. Whee! And he has done a move like that. I know it's a little bit exaggerated, but that's what he's done around this player. When he could have just held or intercepted the ball, but he went on the wrong side. It's not bad covering, but it's not good enough. You can see actually both players try to go at the same time. We've got 1-2 here and here, trying to get over to cover for the ball. It's played across as soon as he gets it, but it is on the transition, so we can give them a little bit of the benefit of the doubt, but I don't. That's a terrible first touch. Oh my God, it's terrible. He's just kind of shinned it into the space in front of him. This defender's awful. Oh, got to show you. I have to show you. Watch this guy coming in here. After that terrible first touch, this guy here puts his arm. Look, that will slow your movement down by that of a second, which you may have been able to put in a tackle, but you can't because now you're falling on the floor. Not only is he asking for an offside, the next thing he does is dive on the floor to miss the tackle. It's like, just play the game of football. You've got a better chance. Ask for the offside afterwards. He's not going to give it to you. I haven't seen a Premier League game where they raise their hands and they get a call for, instantly give you the offside. Stop trying to do it. It's not 1980 with Franco Baresi at AC Milan holding the flag, and getting everybody offside. It doesn't work like that anymore. And then he just gets himself a goal. It's a good finish. I like the keeper coming out, though. Keeper did well to come out, but still wasn't good enough. Brentford, they're a force away from home. And other than that, I'll see you next time on Cash Talks Football.